Turn that shit up, Mike.
What's up, Daryl? What's going on? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Had to get a couple things going. We got a nice little show today. Get on here for a little bit. We're gonna talk about what happened last night, what's coming up this week. You know, this is the week right here. This is the week for Noah in a way, Crawford and them, everything. Shawah, Shalom, Princess. How's it going? Bernard Gilbert, Shalom. I just resetted your thing again, Shawah. See if you can do it now. Does it let you do it now, Shawah? Man, I knew last night was about to be a robbery. I called it. When they robbed Bonet last night, I knew it. Okay, so it does let you manage everybody now? That's good. That's good. Salute, young world. Boy, they demonetized my ass, man. I gotta put in a review. They done demonetized me. I put out a video this morning. They didn't like it. I was talking about the corruption in boxing and how if you not got the complexion for the connection, how they teach it. But obviously, I shouldn't use the R word that ends with a T. And YouTube done demonetized me, so I done put in for a review and everything. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. Well, freedom of speech ain't so free. I tell you that. Freedom of speech ain't so free. But let's talk about that last night, though. Before we get started, 17 of us now. And if y'all want to support the channel, my Cash App up there. I done been demonetized for a little bit, so can't super chat now at all. Because they demonetized me for speaking my mind. But I'm not going to be one of the channels that'll be afraid to speak their mind. If it's wrong and it's corruption in it, I'm going to speak my mind. Like last night, that was a blatant disregard for boxing fans, like stuff like that. Salute, Dr. Mark. Nah, I put out another video this morning, Shawah. They only let it sit up like 30 minutes, and then I got a strike for it. And they said I was inciting RAST at the end. You feel me? Because I said that the boxing people were biased to a certain color. You know which word I'm saying. I ain't gonna say the word again and get another strike, but you know, because it's a lot of privilege that, you know, the darker you folks don't get. I mean, I'm not that way. I mean, I treat people accordingly, but facts is the fact. Like, we ain't get no franchise built for a darker guy, but that fight last night, it was already set. They already set the board for that right there. And that right there, it makes me wonder about Fulton anyway. Because they said that fight was 9-3, 10-2. And if they could sit there and rob that man like that, Inouye's in his own country. Fulton has to be very worried about that right there. Because they show that they don't care about it. But we'll talk about that more when we get somebody. Let's drop the link just in case. But yeah. How you doing, Mike? And we got 6 days for the Spence and Crawford. Spence's nutritionist. Spence's nutritionist done dropped a lot. He done said a lot. We're gonna talk about that right there. He talked about how Earl was in the best shape. He talked about, let's get that off for a second. Yeah, Spence Nutritionist, he did an interview on Fight Hype. He sat there and said it's going to be a one-sided whooping. He said Spence is going to beat Crawford. And he said not only beat him, he said he's going to beat him down. Because he said Spence is laser focused. He's never seen nobody that is focused as Spence is. He said Spence is a rare mind that they don't make like that no more. Secondly, he also said that all the stuff that Earl had to go through to get this fight is going to play a part in it. And he's going to pay for what he had to do. Matter of fact, I'm going to let y'all hear what this man had to say. I'm going to let y'all hear what Spence's nutritionist had to say. This is Spence's nutritionist.
I don't know yet, but we'll figure that out. He's going to eat a lot, though, you know? He's going to eat a lot. Once we make weight, it's like, right.
They're talking about soon
we
as
got
they make
24
weight.
hours to eat well, but,
Earl's going to come in that ring about 165,
like I said,
170.
we've done it right. So we're not really forcing anything. We're not going to weigh in and then just like, right, let's get as heavy as we can. Like, it's done the correct way. We'll rehydrate what we dehydrate, and then his weight will be where it is. But you'll see him look very big, very strong, and very comfortable and natural in the on Saturday night.
He's going to look like Hercules.
I think Errol's going to stop him. Errol's going to beat him, you know. And
Yeah,
it just depends if that stops Terrence or not. But he's going to beat him up, you know. He's going to be too big, too strong. And more than anything, Errol is mentally like different than anyone I've ever met. I mean, you look at the car accident, you look at the eye surgery.
Follow on, Mr. Mechanic.
Him after those points, do you know what I mean? This has been hard for him to get this fight. Now you're going to see him after that point of that difficulty to get the fight. Now he's got it. He's gonna beat Terrence up, and but it's going to be an absolute bomber. It's going to be a great fight. So, but Errol will come out as victorious 100%. Elliot, just to piggyback off something that you said.
That man, that is Earl Spence's nutritionist. This man just sat there and told people he's gonna beat, like he said, Earl is literally gonna beat Terrence Crawford. And see, Terrence Crawford, with all that money that he has, he should have hired a nutritionist, because this is the biggest fight of your career. You have Bomac, a man that is 5'3" wide and 5'3" tall, your nutritionist. How is this man gonna be your nutritionist? How is he gonna make sure that you eat correctly? That right there is just, it doesn't make sense. Now you got him controlling what you eat. He can barely control his own eating. So if he can control his own eating, how's he gonna control your eating? Next, you got this man for Earl. He's sitting there. He's got Earl in the top physical condition. Yes, he got the same one that works with Tank. See, Tank hasn't had no problems making weight since he's got this nutritionist. And see, with this nutritionist, that's what LeBron spends so much money working about his nutritionist. That's when you take care of your body. When you take care of your body, you get out what you put into it. Now, when you put in, you get it out. And that's what people don't understand. Earl Spence is taking this seriously because he's getting older. When you get older, it's a lot harder to make the weight. It's a lot harder to do the things that you've done as a youngin. Now, Earl is getting to the peak of his career. He's right here at his prime. And while he's at his prime, he's got to strike while the striking is hot. I'm good, Daryl Deloach, bro. How you doing, brother? But he has to strike while the striking is hot, because if he doesn't, then he's going to miss out on his prime, and then he's just going to miss out on it. How you doing, Dr. Mark? You can get on if you want to. Yeah, Ping, yes, no alcohol too. But, you know, Earl has had a little something when he was celebrating with his family in the off time. But now he's laser focused. He's getting everything together. Like, the man is about 7 pounds off of weight right now, talking to DJ yesterday. And, you know, they usually cut about 6 to 10 the last day. So Earl, by that time, he's not even going to have to cut that much They getting it off naturally. So after the weigh-in, you're not gonna rush to see Earl hurry up and hydrate. See, Earl's not gonna have to hydrate, so he's gonna be much stronger. You got Bud still cutting weight. Bud still is trying to get down to the weight so he can get on that scale. And see, that's gonna take a lot out of Bud. And when he hydrates, he's gonna fluid up real fast and real big. And it's gonna be hell on him because it's a shock to your system. Like he's gonna be kind of sluggish because people may not recognize it, but Bud has some size on him now. Bud had a shape on him right there. His shoulders was wide, and see, he's a wrestler. He's counting on getting in there with Earl, roughing him up a little bit, trying to wrestle him, disrupt his timing and everything. That's what he's planning on doing, and he thinking he's gonna come forward a little bit and try to do that, and he thinks he's gonna make Earl tired. But I've never seen nobody control Earl both of his arms. No matter how strong they was, Earl always get that right hand full free, and Earl goes to work with that one hand. And Bud, he's training, but like he said on that thing, how he didn't want to get up and how losing crosses your mind. If you're thinking about losing as a fighter, then you've already lost, because a fighter, their biggest thing is the invincibility, invulnerability, knowing that you the best and can't nobody mess with you. Once you start doubting yourself, and once you start thinking that another fighter can beat you, then you already lost, because the fight game is 80% mental and 60% physical. Yes, you got to have the physical to match with the body, but your body controls it. Your body can will yourself to a victory. You don't know. You can be down like he was down on the Sean Porter fight. He got hyped. He came up there and won. Sugar Ray Leonard was down in the corner. He got that speech. He went out there and did his thing. The mind is a very powerful tool. And if your mind and your body is one, you can capitalize and you can get yourself and will yourself to do what you need to do to handle what you got to handle. But if your mind is broken, like Jamal Charlo's is, then you should get in there, because boxing is a sport that you can't play around with. You get hurt in there. Every time you step in the ring, you're risking your life. And people don't understand, when you risk your life, this is not a game that you play. This is like gladiators, like the Roman Colosseum. Like when people used to come in there and hail Caesar and they put their thumb down. This is the same thing, but just on a simpler notice. Just like football, all these gladiator sports are for the Colosseum. And it's to keep the fans happy so they can control us, basically. But Earl's ready. He's coming out there. He's very hydrated. This is his best training camp he's had. He's more in shape than he was for the Lamont Peterson fight. Because, see, Lamont Peterson fight, he still was cutting weight the wrong way. But people don't know, Earl Spence has 100% KO rate, 100% stop rating when he's had strength and conditioning. He's on 11 fight KO streak until he got Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter. That's because those are two fights that he didn't have strength and conditioning when he had fat camps, and he was anorexic when he got in there. The man had to lose 52 pounds for Mikey Garcia and 48 pounds for Sean Porter. But he got on this kick where he said 50% of him is better than all the welterweights out there. And he proved that. He proved that he can beat welterweights at a subpar performance. The man came out of a car crash and beat Danny Garcia worse than anybody's ever did Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia is a world-class fighter. Danny Garcia split with Bud in the amateurs, but he was able to make Danny look bad. And he would have stopped Danny, but he ran out of gas. It was his first fight after being in an accident, and Earl ran out of steam. But he had Danny's eye jacked. He had it jacked up like a car on a daggone tow truck. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Ping. This man went out of Ferrari over 100 miles an hour, hit concrete, broke his jaw, and the rest of his body still intact. This man is something special. And I don't know nothing that Crawford has that's going to hit him and affect him worse than that car accident. This is what people don't understand. Like, Earl is a monster, and he's coming out and he's not weight drained. He's had strength and conditioning. He's getting the weight right. Anybody want to get up on the panel is right there. Ping anybody. Y'all can jump up here. Tell me what you're thinking. This open door Sunday. Yep. And see, that's another thing. This is the fight Earl's been dreaming about. Terrence Crawford, he really didn't want this fight. He had to be forced into it. Earl came out the coma wanting this fight. John James, I appreciate that $1 in the cash app. Salute, brother. Salute for that $1 in the cash app. Thank you, sir. He said, man down. Yeah, man down all day. And Crawford's gonna be another man down. Yeah, they took my monetization, so I can't get super chats and stuff right now. I don't think I can get his cash app. I was speaking on the R and the ST, but it is true because we seen it. And just like Earl, you got Bomac and them, they're doubting. See, Bomac and them is making it messed up because they're putting doubt in Terrence Crawford's head. And I want to see the best fight the best, like my boy BFT is. I want to see Terrence Crawford at his best, Earl Spence at his best. But Bomac and all them, they making excuses, and you can't do that around a fighter. You're supposed to have your faith in your fighter. When you sitting there talking about the PBC may do this or Derrick James is this and that, you showing doubt. It's too late in the game to be having doubt. You didn't have that doubt when you was talking about a drunk lush and talking about his wife and talking about this and that. When you was a couple states away, you weren't talking all this. Now don't change the attitude, don't change the narrative. Now that we right in front of each other now, don't do that. We not doing it like that. Keep that same energy because we coming for that ass. You done said what you said. Now it's time for you to stand on everything you talked about. And that's what it is. Crawford gonna have to stand on it. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna see what type of Shalom kill to Slime. We're going to see what type of fighter Crawford really is. Crawford's gonna find out a lot about himself in this fight right here. He's gonna have to dig deep, and he's gonna have to see what type of fighter he really is. Because during this fight, he's gonna catch Earl. He's gonna catch Earl with something Earl don't see, or he's gonna catch Earl good in between shots. And the way Earl responds is the way this fight's gonna go. If Earl smiles at him and keeps on going, then it's over. But if he can buzz Earl a little bit and make him step back, then we got us a fight on our hand. But if he don't, you're gonna see despair come in Crawford's eyes, and then you got to see what Crawford has. Is he really that dog people say? Is he really gonna pull it out? Because Crawford's never been in that situation. See, since he's been in the 147 division, he hasn't had no adversity. Whenever he wanted to, he'd go out there, and his athleticism has got him over the hump. Okay, I can bullshit a couple rounds, let people get a couple rounds, and boom, knock a person out. He hasn't went through it like with Sean Porter. He turned up, boom, knocked Sean Porter out. But see, he's in there with a whole different breed of fighter right now. You just can't hit Earl with something right there and expect him to go out like that. So when you hit Earl with your best shot, which you will, or if you catch him with something he doesn't see and Earl doesn't go down, then that's going to tell you what type of man and what type of fighter you is, because you're going to have to dig deep and show your fortitude. And if Crawford is standing in front of Earl and they're boxing, and then he hits Earl and Earl eats that, salute John Kramer, and he can't hurt Earl, I guarantee Crawford gets on that bicycle. I guarantee you Crawford starts backing up and tries to box. And there's going to be boos coming from the crowd because he's done set himself up to be this and say he's going to do that. So now the fans are expecting a certain type of fight. And that's messed up because they done limited Crawford's options. Crawford has to go in there and fight. He's got to go in there and show, because he's done said it. His boasting and bragging and wanting to be this and that, he has to go in there and he has to do everything he said. He can't dance around and box because that's not what he said. And he's got to be a man of his word. So he's going to go in there and try to box with Earl and try to stand in front of Earl. And then the Bud fans are going to see what we've been saying a long time ago. Boxers just don't stand in front of Earl. It's just that you can't get away from Earl. Earl is a mirror. Earl will follow you around. Earl will mirror everything that you do, and you're not getting away from Earl Spence. He has the best feet in boxing. He will shuffle. He will catch you down. He will run you down. You cannot get away from Spence. Spence is a master tactician. He is great. And I'm going to tell you the foreshadowing. Terrence Crawford is 39 and 0 with 30 knockouts. Mikey Garcia was 39 and 0 with 30 knockouts. We seen how that ended. Right? Yeah, that ended the same way. So I'm gonna tell you like this: he ain't got no chance with Earl if he tries to run, because then he's gonna expend his energy even more. See, Crawford is like the tale of three fights right there, basically, because if he tries to run, Earl can cut it down, and that's gonna take away his energy. If he tries to box, Earl's gonna hit him, and that's gonna take away his energy. If he tries to trade and mix up, it's like that's why Crawford is trying to build his stamina up. Because what is he gonna do? It's gonna be, that's why Earl said it's gonna be a battle of attrition. And attrition, this is what goes with it. Earl is built for this. Crawford's not built for these long fights. Crawford's built for dictating and going at his regular pace. Crawford averages between 30 to 40 punches in a round. Crawford ain't used to throwing bunches and bunches of punches. He's not. He likes to sit back, pick his shots. He don't have to do what shit, bro, Hakeem. Hey, bro, Hakeem, over here, I like to have a discussion, bro. You can get up here and talk about it, man. We can have a respectful conversation. Just hit the link. That way you can tell me your side of it. And we can go back and forth and see which side's right. I'll give you your chance to speak. You give me my chance to speak. And we do this like men. It's a sports bar, baby. Hit the link, buddy. I want to see what shit he don't have to do. And shout out to Akello, John Kramer, Shawa. You know, shout out to everybody. Y'all understand what's going on. Bro, Hakeem, you welcome to get up here, bro. I don't mind. That's what we here for, boxing talk. This is why it's called the sports bar. Because, you know, you go in the bar, you have your cup of drinks, you know, you talk sports. That's what this place is. This is what we building right here. A platform where anybody can come up here. And that links for anybody. Anybody want to come up here, give your comments, give your opinion. I mean, it's right here. I'm open for everybody. I'm very respectful. I don't go against nobody's opinion, but you know, I speak facts. And I like to come with facts. And if you're giving your opinion, that's your opinion. But we go fact by fact. We go fact by fact. So you can hit the link, brother. See, that's crazy. My brother come in, he sit there and say he don't have to do this shit, bro. I invite him up here to tell me what he doesn't have to do. And now my brother don't want to talk about it. I'm not like other channels. I'm going to tell you that now. I'm not going to disrespect you and call you outside your name or nothing like that as long as you keep it respectful. If we keep it boxing, then I keep it boxing. Now, don't get me wrong. I can match you whatever you want to match with. But if it's just good old boxing talk, ain't nothing wrong with that. We all like to have a good ass boxing talk. That's what we here for. We got the biggest fight in the last 40 years coming. Sold out. People are reselling the tickets for 3 times the value. You know, we got undefeated fighters, 39 and 0 with 30 knockouts, 28 and 0, 22 knockouts. Earl with a 78 knockout percentage. Crawford with a 76 knockout percentage. That's an average of 77% knockout. That means somebody going to sleep this fight. And everybody looks at paper. That's how you can tell boxing fans from casuals. See, looking on paper, Terrence Crawford would be the sure win. He fought 39 fights, knocked out 30. He got a TKO on the last 10, right? Nah, bro, Hakeem, what I was saying is, the reason I said that is Bud has an ego problem, brother. And Bud don't like people saying what he can and can't do. And Bud, he has see, that's the problem. That's another reason why Bud can't mess with Earl, because Bud doesn't have the right mentality. Bud has a show off mentality where if you say I can't do something, or if I got to show and prove something to you, I have to prove it. Bud is like a bully. He needs everybody to kiss his ass. He needs everybody to be yes men. See, Earl doesn't have yes men around him. And Bud, he thrives on showing you what he can and can't do. If you say he can't do something, then his motto is to show you that he can do something. See, and everybody said he can't stand in front of Earl. So he been saying, I'm gonna show these people I can stand in front of Earl. But what I'm saying is he has no choice but to stand in front of Earl, because Earl's gonna make you stand in front of him regardless. Hey, C-Car, go ahead and hop up here, brother. But yeah, Earl's gonna make you stand in front of him regardless, because Earl controls the ring. He has the one of the best ring generalships that I've seen in boxing. Better BF has some good ring generalship as well, but Earl Spence is the best. And yes, you can, Shawar. You get very careless in that mind state. And with that mind state, it deals a lot with pride. And your pride to get you to fall.
I'm in the show. Can't hear shit.
Hey, Ping, you gotta go back. You gotta go out there and fix your thing, bro. It's not letting you come in, man. You gotta open up your you got.
All right, I'm here. I can hear that.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Ping, you gotta edit your thing. All right, how you doing, Hakeem, brother? Go ahead and speak, my brother.
What's going on, man?
What's
No,
going on?
said that Bud said something that he was gonna fight a certain way, and now he's like dedicated to that style. I'm saying no, that ain't true, because you can say anything, but when it comes fight time, you got to switch it up. You know what I mean? He's a versatile fighter, so I doubt he's just gonna stick to one style. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Bud, his ego, bro. He's a prisoner of his ego. That's what I'm saying. He's a very egotistical person.
Yeah. And then me personally, I don't think Earl's gonna really attack him the way he attacks other fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because when I study Bud, I've never seen anybody back him up against the ropes, and stay on the inside with him or nothing like that. I think that's hard to do. It's hard to get Bud up against some ropes. So I think Earl's gonna have to box him. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to definitely keep his distance with that jab. You're not gonna get Bud up against some ropes for a long time. That's not gonna.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? With what's up, fam?
Time for me to go.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? All right. Sorry about that, y'all, man. I hate this daggone thing, man. Like, I don't know. Y'all come on back up, bro. I'm sorry about that, man. I don't know what the heck happened. First they come on, C-Car. And my brother, come back up here, my other brother that was up here. I'm sorry about that. They done took my daggone monetization. Now they messing with my live stream. Yeah, but see, since they already took my monetization, I could talk about it. I don't care. I had said something about you. I just found out that on YouTube you can't say the racist word. You can't say that word. That word's supposed to be banned or something. And I end up saying it in one of my live stream. I mean, with my video this morning, and so they demonetized me. I put in a review for it, but hey, but Hakeem, now what you were saying, my brother?
Basically, I'm just saying.
Hey, Carl, come on, bro.
I'm just saying, man, that you know, Bud, man, he's type of guy. He's gonna definitely mix it up. He's gonna fight. He knows now, so it's not gonna be just a certain style for him. I mean, it's not gonna be that way.
But see, that's what I was saying. Like, Bud has the ego trip. You feel me?
Yeah.
And he feels like he could beat Spence at his own game. He feels like that he's stronger than Spence. That's why he always say, they say he's stronger, but we gonna see. Like, Bud, he has to try to one up Spence. Like, he can't stand the fact that somebody being better than him. Like Shakur Stevenson said, Bud is the most competitive person he knows. He's competitive in everything that he does. And see, with that attitude right there, it'll make you fall after a while. Like, he wants to beat Spence and man down Spence. That's what he wants to do. He's saying, people keep telling Bud that he's not big enough. And Bud said, I am big enough, and I'm gonna show you. Like, he has a mental, like, I've met a lot of people like that who's had that it's called a Napoleon complex or a small man's complex. When you tell somebody they can't do something and they small guys or smaller guys, they have to prove everything to the world. Like, they can't take hearing that they're not good at something or somebody is better than them in something right there. They hate that right there. They hate that right there, and they have to prove it. And Bud is the same way. Like, he's sitting there thinking, he's talking about, I used to wrestle. So he thinks he's stronger than Earl. Now, he might go in there and try to wrestle Earl, but he's going to try to rough up Earl, and he's going to try to show people that he's not scared of Earl. That's why if you look at him, they, I thought you had, yeah, Shawa's wrench was gone too, AJ. I don't know what the hell was going on. They took away a couple people's wrenches, because I looked on Shawa first came in, her wrench was gone too. But he has to try to rough up Spence because he has to try to prove that he's better than what he is. See, they done messed up my life. We done lost about 20 people so far. We're getting cooking, but what you got to say, Carl? I think you muted, Carl. Hey, you muted, bro. Can y'all hear him?
Nah, I don't hear him.
We can't hear you, Carl. Carl, you got the mute on, bro. Unmute yourself. There you go. Still can't hear you, bro. Hold on. You might have to check your mic, brother. But yeah, this Saturday it's gonna be a barn burner. Or you might want to go out and come back in, bro. I don't know. But yeah, this Saturday is gonna be a barn burner. Earl Spence is ready.
I feel like Bud, he don't know what he's in for.
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't know what he's in for, but he's gonna learn real fast. When that bell go ding,
yeah,
he's gonna figure it out. Carr, maybe if you go out and come back in. Go out and come back in, Carr. We can't hear you. Yeah, you gotta go out. Go ahead. Ping. That's why I said it could be Leonard versus Hearns, or it can be Hagler versus Hearns.
I'm looking for Hagler versus Hearns.
I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna know what it's gonna be. If Bud comes out there and he catches Earl, right? If he catches Earl with his best shot and he gets Earl's attention and he wakes Earl up and Earl takes a step back, then we're gonna have Leonard. No, we're gonna have Leonard and Duran, because Earl's gonna be Leonard Duran 1. Because Earl's gonna be Duran coming around following Leonard, who's Bud, and putting them hands on him. But if Bud hits Earl with his best shot and Spence do that demonic smile, and he steady come forward like it didn't phase him, then we're gonna have Hagler Hearns, and it's gonna be a bomb burner. And Bud, that's gonna hurt Bud right there because he's gonna see that his best shot didn't do it. And see, Bud has never been salute Marquis. Bud has never been in that situation. Bud has always been that his athleticism has been able to bail him out of situations.
Can
That's
you hear me
why.
now?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That's why people sit there and say like, Bud, he got his athleticism and like he takes rounds off. That's why Bud he doesn't go full tilt at the beginning because he know he got the athleticism to catch him back up. So he takes a few rounds off to what they say download data or whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. And then after he sees something, then he do that. He's not gonna have time to download data against Earl. He take them rounds off, his power's gonna be cut in half. If you sit there letting Earl hit you with them body shots and touching you, your power's gonna lose. You're gonna lose your power at an exorbitant rate. Earl's gonna cut you down. He's gonna hit you in your body. He's gonna make you move. Your stamina's gonna go down. And Earl can throw off 100 punches in a round and not even sweat. Bud throws 30 to 40 punches in a round. He's not used to throwing at that rate. So Earl's gonna make him throw to his rate. So Bud is gonna get a lot more tired or faster. That's why Earl talk about drowning him. Because Bud, he's going to have it coming from all different directions. He's going to have to keep throwing punches to keep up with Earl. He's going to have to move to avoid the shots. He's going to be taking shots to his body. Earl's going to keep touching him to mess with his mind. And see, Earl, he's a smart fighter. He keeps touching the fighter. He don't even load up on every shot. So every time he touches you, you got to react to it because he might touch you one time and he just barely touches you. The next time it might, boom, he might pop your ass. So you never know whether he's loading up to pop your ass or if he's just barely touching you. So now you on guard. Now he got you jumping now because now you don't know what you about to get hit with. So Earl either about to hit you with some thunder or he about to hit you. So now that's messing with your mind right there. You trying to avoid them body shots, and them body shots is taking a toll of you, and then you throwing shots to keep up. That's what he mean by drowning, a war of attrition. Because Bud's going to be throwing more punches than he's ever thrown. He's going to have to move, and he hasn't moved in 5 fights. He got extra weight on him from that muscle that he put on, and then he's going to be getting hit in the body. His stamina is going to be going at a very fast rate.
Facts. I totally agree.
Plus, he's getting older. And, age is the one thing that's undefeated.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
You seeing Earl just pressuring him, like Uga, or do you?
You say what, brother?
How do you see Earl coming at him, like Ugas, or like? I mean, how he fought Danny Garcia, or how he fought Ugas?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you like this: Earl's been waiting on this fight for 5 years. This man came out of his coma, asked for the Crawford fight, but Crawford said no. Let him fight a tune-up because I don't want me to be his first fight after accident. And that's when he wrecked Danny Garcia, right? Earl has been taking this shit from Buzz Camp and his friends for the longest. Earl has had to give this man 50-50. They had to go to a 50-50 split for this man to take the fight. Earl's giving this man his hard-earned money to make him fight him. 50-50. Now he wants a fucking coin toss.
Yeah.
Earl is gonna beat this man from like he said, I'm stepping from the first bell. Earl's about to come out on that man, and he's about to start letting the man have it. It ain't gonna be no fill out round. It ain't no time to download data. Earl's coming out there and he's going to work like he did on the heavy bag. He's just about to work this man. And if Bud can take it, they're gonna have a good fight for as long as it lasts. And if he can't, it's going down early. That's how he coming out there. Yes, Sawar, from pillar to post. He's about to beat that man for everything. Ball Out Mixtape. I ain't say he didn't have a strong mind, but I told you can always step up. You always come to the chat, but you never come up here and give your opinion. You see, I'm very respectful, so you can get up there. Bud has a strong mind, but his mind also pictures him losing too. You ain't heard Earl talking about losing. Earl ain't talking about losing nothing. Bud talking about the thought of losing crosses his mind. So he knows he's in there with a superior fighter.
I think,
Go ahead.
I think, I think a lot of people get Earl mixed up. Dude can box as well. You know, they always try to say Terrence can box, but Earl can box as well, bro. He wasn't an Olympian for no reason.
Man, Earl can box, man. I'm talking about.
Earl can box. This nigga boxed Floyd Mayweather and got kicked out the gym. He boxed so bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That man beat Floyd Mayweather up on his third fight.
Yeah.
They say and I talked to somebody that was there. I even got the interview. He beat that man from pillar to post. I got Ashley Theophane. I'm gonna drop that video later. Ashley Theophane, the man that Earl Spence sparred.
I saw that video.
Yeah, I made a video of it too. I'm gonna drop it today. But Ashley Theophane, the dude, the champion from England that he had sparred with Earl. He said he didn't even want to get in the ring with Earl because they said you about to spar him next, and he said I had just watched that man spar Floyd. Now you want me to get in the ring with this man? Come on now.
Yeah. And another thing is, you know, that Earl's conditioning getting a lot better, you know, with his what word am I looking for? Is the guy that keeps up with his meals and stuff.
Nutritionist.
The nutritionist. You could tell in his media workout, man, he's looking real sharp and just his weight is on right. You can just tell by his demeanor and his body, man, like he gonna rehydrate really well too. So not only when he rehydrate
like a monster, dog.
What? And he can still go be elusive too with power. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's not as drained as he used to be with this new nutritionist, man. And that's gonna play a big factor come next Saturday, bro.
Yeah, like he said, they had a burger. They just had a burger, bro. This far into the training camp, they've had a burger. That means that they're on weight right now. Earl is about 8 pounds away from his weight.
Yeah.
Between 7 to 8 pounds.
Yeah.
He's not even gonna have to do a big cut on Thursday night. He's not even gonna do a big cut because they're getting it off naturally. So after Earl weigh in, you're not gonna see him salute Valentine. You're not gonna see him running to get a bottle of water. But Terrence Crawford, he's gonna be hydrating like hell as soon as he get off that scale. Because Terrence Crawford is still cutting weight, and that's what I'm saying. Crawford, he's in the biggest fight of his life, and he didn't even get a nutritionist. He got Bomac as his cook and his nutritionist. Bomac ain't nutritionist shit.
Nah.
That's like putting a fat kid to guard some chocolate candy. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, the Cheetos bag ain't gonna cut it.
He can't control his nutrition. And I hate when people sit there and say, Bomac, it's a condition. No, the condition is the motherfucker eating Cheetos and Big Gulps all the time. The whole time we watch this motherfucker eating trans fats and motherfucking damn monoglutinized and that damn compound sugars. The man is sitting there eating the worst foods that you could possibly eat. So he's not thinking about his weight. So then you got him. That's that down country shit that I be talking about. Like, it's called being professional.
Yeah.
They not professional. Like, I know you want to give your friends jobs and shit. I know you want to keep it in the family and everything, but sometimes it's called professionalism. Sometimes you got to have a degree of professionalism, because if not, it's just some things that your friends ain't qualified to do. Yeah, and that's facts. Like, my friends ain't qualified to do everything like that, and so I have to get somebody that is.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell my homeboy to come fix my water if he ain't never took plumbing classes.
Yeah. Just like the old sayings. Oh, go ahead. Just like the old saying say, man, you get what you pay for. And Earl's definitely paying, you know, for this fight with his nutritionist and everything he's putting himself through, man. It's definitely gonna pay off. LeBron
James spends $10 million each year on his body and his nutrition. Now, this is LeBron James. Every year he spends $10 million on his nutrition and his workout and his body. This man knows as you get up in age, salute Julia Hill, he knows as you get up in age, your body is not like it when we were younger. When we were younger, you can go out there, party, and then, you know, cut the weight. But now that we're older, your metabolism slows. Your body starts to hold on to some of these trans fats. The carbohydrates start to turn into fats if you don't burn them all off. Like, your body ain't this well-oiled machine that it used to be. So you have to cut your intake back. You got to cut your carbs and increase your protein.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand that when you get older. If not, that's how a lot of older people get weight. If you see a lot of retired boxers, they put on weight. They
Yeah.
don't eat the right way because their body is not in the way it used to be. But Crawford, he stays in the gym because he doesn't eat the right way. And if you don't take care of your body, and see, this is the one thing this is the one knock I have against Crawford. Crawford is a great fighter. He's an elevator to all the competition he's been with. But he hasn't been to the higher level of competition to make him elevate to a higher level.
Yeah.
See, if you ever played chess, if you play against somebody greater than you in chess, you're going to learn from them, from their moves. Like, it's going to elevate your game. If you ever play chess and you play against people that's not that good, it diminishes your game. And Crawford has been fighting against people that are not up to his level, so it's been diminishing his game.
Yeah. And you're only as good as you is the day before.
Yeah.
You know.
And what I was saying is, I had to take a sip of water, sorry. But what I was saying is, Earl has been put through the fire. When he fought Leonard Bundu, that was a switch hitter. People forget, Leonard Bundu was a switch hitter that gave Keith Thurman hell. His only loss in his 33 fights was Keith Thurman until he fought AJ. And then he fought Spence. I mean, he fought Thurman. And then he fought EJ. EJ stopped him.
I'm gonna tell you another fight. What was that African dude he fought that time? That white dude from Africa, man.
You talking about Van Heerden?
Yeah.
Van Heerden was 23-1.
Yeah, that was a good fight too, man. That was a really good fight. Earl, you know, when I saw him fight, a lot of people don't give Hearn that credit, but dude is a good fighter, man. And
yeah, he's
Earl,
long and he's rangy.
Yeah.
Boots fought him. Boots was beating his ass though, but Boots fought him like 6 years later though.
Yeah, exactly.
But Van Heerden was a hell of a fighter. So was Chris Algieri. They was all champions.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. Van Heerden, he hit him with a body shot, made that man wiggle. Then he commenced the beating on him. But see, Earl fought Van Heerden, Algieri, Bundu, Kell Brook. Then he fought Carlos Ocampo, Lamont Peterson. He fought Mikey Garcia. He fought Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Yordenis Ugas. Each one of those 10 people I just named were great fighters. They was B- to A-class fighters. And each fight, he fought their style and gained their style. He fought on the inside with Sean Porter and took Sean Porter's style and made it his own. You seen it when he fought Ugas.
Yeah.
He took Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia's counterpunching away and outboxed them on the outside.
Exactly.
He took Lamont Peterson's slickness. He even switched to southpaw to orthodox on Lamont Peterson and out-slicked Lamont Peterson, who was a slick fighter.
That's why I brought up that Lamont Peterson fight the other day when we was talking, bro, because if you watch that fight real close, Earl can show you his different types of switch-ups and fighting. Dude can really box, man. Earl, they be sleeping on Earl's boxing, man.
Exactly. Earl is also a switch hitter, people. I've watched it in the amateurs. Earl has fought in orthodox. He did it in Lamont Peterson. Earl has all the tools that Terrence Crawford has and more. But if you have a simple way to complete a job, why go about it complicated? Like when he fought Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia, he said, I'm about to go back to bulldozing niggas. Because going 12 rounds in a fight, you don't get paid for overtime.
Yeah.
And he can sit there and outbox you, stay on the outside, beat you up for 12 rounds. Box, and you can't say that they won the rounds. He beat Mikey 12 rounds, 12-0. He beat Danny Garcia 10-2 because he got gassed at the end because he was coming off his car accident.
Yeah.
But Earl can box with the best of them. That's why they don't tell you Terrence Crawford can win on the cards. Because deep in their mind, they know Earl will outbox him, outproduce him, outpunch him, and outscore him. So Terrence Crawford only way is to hit Earl with something that he don't see, and hopefully Earl will fall. Yeah. But Earl has a granite chin. This man has took a shot from Emmanuel Larte, a 15-0 with 9 knockouts, Jamaican dude, African, Jamaican, whatever. Took it and kept coming after he recovered himself. he done got hit by Kell Brook. Kell Brook was a hard-hitting big welterweight. The man took shots from Danny Garcia, who was arguably, and Keith Thurman would tell you, Danny Garcia is the hardest punching welterweight out there. Danny Garcia hits with his left hook, hits with 975 pounds of pressure.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been in there said Danny Garcia's left hook is the hardest hitting welterweight that was out there. He got hit clean after the bell rung. Earl wiped it off. And he caught Earl in that corner with that hook. Earl ate it. Ugas caught the man while he was reaching down for his damn thing.
Yeah.
The man wasn't even looking at Ugas. Ugas was peppering him. Still couldn't put that man down. A Ferrari. He crashed a Ferrari at 100 miles an hour. This man is still going. So it's nothing that Bud got in them tiny ass gloves that's gonna hurt this man and stop him from coming forward. This man right here is about to be like the juggernaut, and he's gonna run through Bud, and Bud and them already know. Their only claim to fame is, well, we stopped Sean Porter.
See, what I think is they was trying to take advantage of Earl's layoff. That's why they kept blowing that fight away. And that's why he took that one fight before he took this fight with Earl, because they was trying to let Earl get some ring rust. But what they don't understand is Earl was still training and sparring the whole time, so he wasn't sleeping. You know,
Earl been training since he got called for the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's how long he's done had that nutritionist since before the Manny Pacquiao fight, and that's how long he's been training.
Yeah.
Earl's in the best shape of a fight that he's ever been in. And what they don't realize is all they did was piss Earl off. The more they kept doing this, that's why Earl said, let him have everything he wants. Because I'm going to get everything and some out his ass come Saturday.
Yeah.
And they told Earl, your fans, they got you as an underdog. Earl Spence told all of us that my fans are going to get rich because he's telling you he's about to bulldoze and knock this nigga out.
Yeah.
He can't come out here and tell us that it's guaranteed, but it's basically he guaranteed a knockout. This man is about to be on Bud's ass worse than anybody. And I can say this because I've seen what happened to Bud when he takes punishment. I've seen Mean Machine work Bud. I've seen Jose Benavidez lift him up after y'all finish this live stream. Go to the third round of Jose Benavidez versus Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
The third round with 30-some seconds left, Jose Benavidez hit that man in the stomach, lifted him up off the ground.
I think it might have been a left body shot too. I think it was with the left hand too.
It was a right hook.
It was a right hook to the body.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I know
the same right hook that Earl was hitting that heavy bag with.
Yeah.
Then not only did he catch him with it, he turned around and caught it with him again.
Yeah.
And sent him across the ring. Terrence Crawford's such an elite fighter, but Jose Benavidez, if you remember, he sparred with Earl Spence. Earl Spence beat the dog shit out of Jose Benavidez. Beat the dog shit out of him.
And don't forget,
he fighting Jose Benavidez when Jose Benavidez was a top prospect. When Jose Benavidez had both legs.
Hey, and he was coming off of that gunshot wound to the leg when he fought Bud too.
He was coming off a shotgun to the leg when he fought Bud. The man couldn't bend his leg. He couldn't hardly move. He couldn't even fall right when Bud knocked him out in the 12th round.
Yeah.
The man couldn't even fall down right. That's why he couldn't get back up. That's why.
And I ain't taking nothing away from Bud from that fight. You know, that was a good fight. But at the end of the day, you had a hell of a time with Benavidez.
A one-legged man in the ass.
One-legged man, dog. You had a hell of a time trying to get him up out there.
Anybody with one leg in that ring with Earl, they don't go past 3.
No.
They don't go past 3. If you put a one-legged man in the ass kicking contest with Earl Spence, they will not go past 3 rounds.
Yeah.
That's with or without strength and conditioning. Earl is not playing that shit. That's disrespectful to a boxer to let that man come through and do some shit like that.
Yeah.
And that's when I said Bud ain't what he called out to be. Then you got Kell Brook, who had a month to get down. He even came out and said it. He said Dominique Ingles wouldn't even train that man because he didn't have enough time to make the weight. He had a month to make the weight to fight Bud. This man came down to a weight he hasn't been in 3 years just for a paycheck. And in 3 rounds, had Bud Eye looking like looking like a damn cartoon character.
You know, even in that fight with Kell Brook, you know, he caught Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking that away from him. But you was down on the cars before you caught him. If you don't get that lucky shot with Earl, man, you gonna be in some deep waters, bro.
That's what I said. That's why I say he's gonna drown because Bud relies on his athleticism to pull him out. But what do you do when you in there with somebody that got just as much athleticism as you? And what do you do when you hit somebody with your best shot and they don't go nowhere? That's
Yeah,
when I talk about the fortitude. That's when I talk about that's how you're gonna really see where a man's metal is, how they're made. Because if you don't sit there, salute to Devon Solis for the $2 in the cash app. Appreciate that. That cash app go a long way now. They done demonetized the brother. Yeah, they done took away my money. So I appreciate that. Everything y'all do, I appreciate. You know, which song, Swaggy D? Because I play a couple of them. You talking about the haters or the haters? That was an old song. The haters everywhere we go. And then yeah, he fought David Avanesian with some busted gloves, like he was practicing. Like he was practicing on them gloves. Like y'all remember, he was in the same side with Tyson Fury.
yeah.
So you know he done learned some of them Tyson Fury tricks. And look, it's something I wanted to say, but I don't want to diminish this fight. But it's kind of funny how a man can fight people like Ricky Burns, Breeders Prescott, and Victor Postol at lower weight classes and don't knock them out. Get the welterweight, put on all this weight, and knocking out everybody or stopping everybody that he's fighting against. And you know he over there with Victor Conte and Snack, right?
Yep.
But I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just kind of funny though. You ain't been knocking everybody out. Now you hitting everybody and TKOing them.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna do that because I don't want Earl to have no discretion in this fight. But one thing I can say though, Terrence Crawford, he wants a coin flip so he come out last because he know this is his farewell tour. Terrence Crawford know when he comes out, this is his last fight right here. He even wants to keep the commemorative coin. He even wants to keep the coin from the coin toss. So he knows that's why he's getting life-changing money. That's why he's getting in this ring. If his family did not push him, if his kids did not shame him, we would not be getting this fight.
Yeah, because Earl already gave you 50-50, you know,
Earl gave him everything.
everything.
Look, next thing you know, he was going to tell Earl to stand on his foot for 10 hours. If you can't stand on your feet for 10 hours, 1 foot, then we can't have a fight. And then he going to tell everybody, man, I tried, but the man couldn't stand on his foot for 10 hours. He really didn't want to fight. That's the type of shit. It was getting ridiculous, dog. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted to go through Showtime's books and approve the vendors and everything. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Shawwa, this is his last one. But he getting life-changing money. He getting 50-50. And if this fight do as good as it's projected, he's going to walk away with at least 30.
You know, that's why I respect Earl so much, though, man, because, you know, Crawford in his interviews, he be saying, yeah, we made this fight. Nah, man, Earl gave up a lot to make this fight, man. So we all have to really take our hats off to Earl, man, at the end of the day for making this fight happen.
Anybody else want to come up on the panel? Y'all can, bro. It's an open bar, baby. We all talking this boxing. We want to hear from everybody. Y'all can all be in car.
Yes,
but yeah,
sir.
this is what I'm saying, though. He did everything not to make the fight. And people are not giving Earl his credit. They still bash Earl. They still do all this other shit. And all Earl has ever did was be the truth. Everything he said, he's done. He's always gave us the truth. He hasn't did nothing he said he wasn't going to do. He said, I'm going to get all these belts, then I'm going to go take Terrence's.
Yeah.
And he said, if the fight don't happen, it ain't going to be because of me.
Exactly.
And we've seen that Terrence Crawford did what Manny Pacquiao and other top-ranked people do. They attach their name to another fighter and try to build off of it. And that's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I just really respect Earl for that, man. You know, because like I said, you know he really won this fight because he wasn't taking no other fights after you guys until he got Crawford. You know, he stayed his word, stayed true to it. You know, I just had to take my hat off to him and commend him for that, man, because you know, he meant what he said. He ain't want no other fights. He ain't leaving 147 until he get Crawford. He ain't taking no tune-up fights or nothing else, man. And that just says a lot right there, man. You got to respect that whether you like Earl or not like him.
Yep. I'm gonna tell you another thing though. Terrence Crawford been sparring people with the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, and stuff. He's sparring these smaller guys. He also sparred with Steven So Cold and everything, but he's sparring with guys that cannot hit with half the velocity that Earl hits with. And yes, Shakur is a brilliant fighter, but Shakur, he might can mimic Earl in certain ways. But Shakur Stevenson is not getting you prepared for Earl Spence.
Nah.
I'm sorry. Shakur is not Earl Spence.
Nah. Because for one thing, he ain't bringing that pressure. He ain't bringing them body shots because he's too much of a counter fighter himself.
Exactly. And he wouldn't have the output to keep up with the pace of Earl Spence. See, you just can't go in one training camp. And see, this is what another thing that's going to hurt Bud. When we talk about the attrition, you can't go in one training camp and think that you can build your stamina all the way up like a Earl's. See, Sean Porter, he's always had good stamina, but he had a 6-month training camp to prepare for Earl Spence. The way Earl is training, Earl has put in years to get his stamina up like that. Bud has this training camp, and Bud is going to try, but your body has muscle memory, and he has a lot more muscle on him than he's had before. And see, people don't realize the more muscle you put on, that's the more energy you're going to expend. That's why Derrick James never let Blu-ray work out with Earl Spence with weights. He didn't want Earl to get no weight muscle. He wanted him to get all natural, calisthenic muscles, like from pull-ups and dips and stuff like that. Because muscles put extra energy on you. It's going to take more energy from you.
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford's done bulked up. He's done bulked up considerably. When we see Terrence Crawford in the fight, he's going to be stacked like Keith Thurman looked against Barrios. He's going to be like Baracus. The man going to look like a pocket Hercules, I'm telling you.
And it's going to force him to fight more flat-footed, too. And that's going to be more trouble because he's going to have to be on his horse fucking with Earl.
And that's another thing. Terrence Crawford done fought his last fight 5 fights flat-footed. So you're not going to be able to change what you done got accustomed to. Like Deontay Wilder say, when a person get hits in a fight, all that new stuff that you train goes out the window. And it will. Hey, Ping, the reason why he's the betting favorite is because all the money is on Crawford. See, it don't mean who's the best. It's whoever the money's going on. That's how Vegas does their bets.
Yeah.
So if the most money is on Crawford, then he's going to be the betting favorite. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works right there. But yeah.
And Coach James said Earl been doing 19 rounds, man. That's a lot of
He's been doing 16 to 24.
Woo.
And his last 4 rounds is always Jermell Charlo.
And
Jermell Charlo goes full speed.
Yeah.
They make Jermell Charlo go full speed because it's to stimulate the championship rounds. If Earl is still in there with somebody in 10 rounds, he has to go balls out to get him up out of there in the last 2 rounds. And Earl Spence doing 20 rounds of sparring and going 4 full rounds with Charlo full speed, ain't nobody gonna last. And that's the reason why this fight ain't going to the cards. Earl Spence is 24 round ready. Bud may be 15 round ready, but after 4 rounds of getting beat on, that's going to drop you down to about 7 round ready.
Yeah.
Earl Spence is prepared to go 100 miles an hour for 12 full rounds. Crawford hasn't seen nothing like that. Crawford hasn't felt nothing like that. Crawford has never been put to anything close to that. He could have had a fight with Virgil Ortiz or Stanionis to give him like a light simulation of it. But Mean Machine, the way Mean Machine was coming at him, and Mean Machine was getting loose on him, and Mean Machine was picking up the pace a little bit. And when Mean Machine had him hurt, Mean Machine acted like he was scared. See, anybody that's had Crawford hurt, they haven't jumped on him.
Yeah.
If Mean Machine would have jumped on Crawford after he hurt him, it would have been a different ball game. But see, they respect Crawford and they respect his accolades and all that. So, you know, they don't just jump on him. Earl's not going to respect that shit. Earl's going to hurt you and he's going to keep coming. Earl's going to beat this man so he doesn't want a rematch. And after Earl beats him, he got another little bug calling his name Tim Kazoo. Tim Zoo's been hollering for Earl because he know Earl coming up. And he talking about Charlo need to be stripped from his weights. But Tim Zoo, he needs to sit his ass down talking about Charlo ducked him because Tim Zoo getting ducked for Canelo. Nobody would ever say no stupid shit like that. This is Canelo Alvarez you talking about, you dumbass. But, hey, this is going to be a hell of a fight between Bud and Spence. We got 6 days. I'm so glad to see it. I'm so happy it finally happened. I had got to the point where I didn't think it was going to happen, people.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen either, man, just because all the stuff Crawford was asking for. And like I said, I really, I applaud Earl for giving up what he gave up to make this fight happen, man. Win or lose, but I know Spence ain't taking no loss. But end of the day, man, you got to – that just truly shows how bad he wanted to fight, man.
I knew he wanted because Earl's the type of person, he don't want to let nobody get nothing on him. Like, he's the type of person, you hit me, I got to get you back, dog. Like, Earl is a sociopath, psychopath like myself. Like, Earl, he wants to hurt Bud. Bud has disrespected him, his family, his kids. Bud has disrespected him as a man. And Earl can't live with himself until he gets Bud back. And he's going to get Bud back. And he's going to make Bud pay for everything that he's done said. And then you see people asking, can y'all be friends after the fight? After Earl beat that man, he ain't going to want shit to do with that man because he sees Crawford's character. Yeah. Crawford and his people, they have a shiesty-ass character, man.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
just like when Coach James was walking inside the building, you know what I'm saying? That little argument Bud picked with him.
Yeah, try to bully Coach James. Like, that's what I'm saying. Crawford has that mentality where he wants to try to bully everybody, where he wants everybody to think that he's the biggest, the greatest. Like, you have to show me my respect. What are you doing walking past me and not speaking and all that stuff right there? Because this dude say you need an undisputed. And come on, man.
Yeah.
Derek James ain't that tight. Derek James started off 10-0. Until he fought. Derek James' first loss came to a fighter that was 28-0. And he was 10-0. And Derek James had dropped the dude in like the third round. But the fight went too long. It was long, and like in the later rounds, they threw in the towel on Derek. But Derek was winning. He was beating the man ass, but this man was in his 10th fight fighting a man that's got almost 30 fights and undefeated. They threw Derek James to the wolves. And so now Derek James makes sure his fighters are prepared not to get thrown to the wolves. See, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford had two different upbringings. Terrence Crawford was placed in the ring with people they knew he could beat by the great matchmakers of Top Rank. Earl Spence was through in the rings with people, if you beat them, that's good. If not, then that's the end of your story. PBC don't protect you. You have to make your own name. And if you can't make your own name, then, hey, you wasn't that good. But if you do come out the fire, if you do come out all that, then we can market you. And Earl's been put through all that, and he's came out. Ball Out mixtape. Bruh, why don't you just hit the link, brother? Like, I've given you chance to come up here and explain it to us. You keep typing about it, but you won't come up here and give your reasons for it. Bro, you've seen other Bud fans come up here and give their reasons. You saying that Earl has the worst game plan. What's wrong with his game plan? I think Bud has the worst game plan because Bud's about to go in there with somebody that's gonna beat him the hell down, and he's done put on extra weight. And I hope Bud got a layer of fat to go over top of the muscles because muscles may protect you, but fat protects better. If you watch the Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez fight, you see Shakur Stevenson muscles wasn't showing. You see he had like a layer of fat over his muscles. That's what you do when you're going against a big puncher because fat can absorb the shock from the punches. Yeah, Broner said you got to fight Godzilla. Fat absorbs punches better than muscle. That's why if you see a fighter fighting against a heavy puncher, you see they have like a layer of fat over their muscles because that's your best defense against a power puncher.
And I like Earl's training too, man. Like we was talking about how he throws like 80 to 100 punches around.
Yeah.
And Bud don't do that. Your body only gonna put out what you put in. And so when they start getting into them later rounds, 6 to 7, I'm gonna say between 6 and 10. If he's not matching, if his body's not used to throwing that many punches around, and Earl turns up between 6 and 10 rounds, that's gonna show a big difference, bro. That's just like, a person doing 50 push-ups a day, and you got a person doing 200 push-ups a day. Your body only gonna put out what you put in. If you ain't used to throwing that many punches around, and you got a person who's throwing that many punches around, you gonna have some issues with that guy, man.
Okay, Ball Out Mixtape. I told you the link is there. Shawar's been posting the link. You can get up there if you want to, bro. But what I'm telling you is, EJ can break everybody down. Everybody that he's done been in the ring with strength and conditioning, he has 100% knockout rate. Because Earl Spence breaks down light heavyweights and middleweights. Earl Spence is one of the most dangerous punchers that people don't even understand, and he breaks you. A bone is not meant to be broke. Your orbital bone is part of your skull. It's not as thick as the rest of your skull, but it's still thick. He's breaking that. Your ribs aren't made to be broken. People fall and get hit on the football fields, and their ribs don't break. He breaks that. This man breaks hip bones. Come on, man. Exactly, Coach Top Fitness.
He got that thudding power.
Yes, that's what it does, Coach Top Fitness. Any fighter that if Bud Crawford wins, yes, Ball Out Mixtape. I'm a fan of boxing. I'm an Earl Spence fan because I was a Bud Crawford fan until he started doing all this bullshit. Until he showed me when he was calling for Earl, and Earl and him was about to fight, I was like, hell yeah. This is going to be a great fight. I want to see it. I was giving Bud his props. I was giving Earl his props. Even though I leaned toward Earl because of the styles. Styles makes fight. But I had it like a 55-45 fight. But after the Ugas fight, and I seen that Earl was back, because this was before the Danny Garcia fight. But then I seen Bud wasn't saying what he was supposed to be saying. Bud was going all around. And then I watched Bud versus Kell Brook, and I seen how Kell Brook swole his eye like that with the jab. And I know Earl is a prolific jabber. And then I seen the way David Avanesian was catching him with clean shots, and he was trying to walk through it. Okay, Ball Out Mixtape. Tell me when he said something that he wasn't right about. What has Earl said when has Earl lied? Bud's done lied over 20 times. Over. So when has he lied? Cause see, now you act like a troll now, brother. And like if you're gonna troll, at least get up here and say what you got to say, bro.
Yeah, jump on the platform, man. We all just giving our words. You know what I'm saying?
I know your fingers got to be tired for all this typing you're doing. You can't get up here and stand for your man, Bud. I mean, because you typing hella good for him. I'm just saying, Earl has broke down everybody that he's had strength and conditioning for. Derek James will even tell you, they make light heavyweights and heavyweights wear protective gear when they spar Earl Spence while he's not in protective gear. They're sparring against this man and he's in protective gear. That means this man is beating up motherfuckers that's 180, 190 pounds. Earl Spence has a power when he's around 160, 170 that will destroy anybody in the welterweight division. And we haven't even seen half of this man's power. This man's power will show at 160, 154. We've only getting a fraction of it. That's why he say 50% of me is better than everybody at welterweight. And he's proved it. Terrence Crawford has struggled with Mean Machine. He has struggled with a 126-pound Gamboa coming up to 135. This man has struggled with a one-legged Jose Benavidez, popping him across the ring. He has struggled with a weight drain Kell Brook that had 4 weeks of training camp. This nigga had 4 weeks to come fight the pound-for-pound number one at a weight that he hasn't fought in 3 years. And you telling me this and that. Earl Spence has been training for this nigga for 2 years. This nigga has broken everybody down with strength and conditioning. And you're sitting up here with this dumbass propaganda talking about what EJ has said and hasn't said, when Bud is the one that keeps fucking lying. Earl's name is the truth. Everything he said has been true. You can't point to shit he said that's been a false. The only people running around here lying is Bill Haney and fucking Terrence Crawford and his crew. And y'all kill me with that. Stay moving the goalposts. But it's okay because Bud got to get in that ring. Bernie the Boxer talking all this shit. He doesn't have to get in that ring. Bo Mac fat ass talking all that shit. He doesn't have to get in the ring. Shakur, Keyshawn, they don't have to get in the ring with Earl. Everybody making these predictions. James Toney doesn't have to get in the ring with Earl. Tim Bradley, your ass retired not to get in the ring with Earl. You ain't got to get in the ring with Earl, but Bud does. Bud has to take the ass whooping. Bud's about to be like Jesus taking up for all y'all sins that y'all have committed, and Earl's about to crucify this nigga in the ring.
I don't know why Roy Jones Jr. trying to switch up at the end. I don't know why Roy Jones Jr. trying to switch up at the end now.
You got Roy Jones and Sean Porter trying to switch up. Sean Porter just came on time and said, you fight somebody on Monday, it ain't the same person you fight on Friday. He sat there and said that he fought Terrence Crawford fought a weak, lesser version of himself. He came out and said it. Earl has felt power more than Crawford. Crawford doesn't hit harder than Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo's a fucking stud. Crawford doesn't have one-punch knockout power, dude.
They also said
David Avenesian is his one-punch knockout. Crawford hasn't one-punch knockout shit at the welterweight division. He swarms them. The ref stops it. He doesn't have one-punch knockout power, dude. He's not going to stop a motherfucking rock like Earl, the motherfucking juggernaut. Danny Garcia has more punching power than Bud. Sean Porter said it.
When you got heavyweights wearing rib protectors when you spar them, that says a lot. Earl's sparring partners are wearing rib protectors and they heavyweights when they sparring him. That says a lot, bro.
Okay, you said Charlo got hurt against Brian Castano. What the fuck does that got to do with Charlo's punching power? We talking about Earl, we talking about Bud. A midget, they call Tank a midget. The nigga that got a 90% knockout rate. So what the hell? Mike Tyson was a midget. He was knocking shit out. David Tua was a midget at the heavyweight division. He has knockout power. So what are you talking about, midgets? Come on, man. Terrence Crawford about got knocked out by a midget. Yuriokas Gamboa. So what are you saying? This is what I'm saying. We talking about Charlo's power. Earl goes against Charlo's power day in and day out. Bud doesn't hit with a fraction of Charlo's power. And Charlo beat the shit out of Brian Castano the second fight. We didn't hear them damn drums going off after that fight, did we? No, we didn't. You steady moving the goalposts. Let's keep it right there. That's why you won't get your ass up here, because you know you moving the goalposts and you're going to look stupid. Even without me disrespecting you, bro. Salute, Jason Giles. Hey, Jason, if you want to, bro, you can hop up on the panel and talk, brother. Appreciate the subscriber, bro. EJ couldn't stop a midget. Mikey Garcia has been in there with Adrian Broner, who dropped Sean Porter first. Sean Porter said Adrian Broner hits harder than Terrence Crawford. Mikey Garcia is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was number 3 on the pound-for-pound list. And you sitting there bringing up Mikey Garcia. What's good, D-Free? Mikey Garcia. Earl had to cut he was 200 pounds going into that fight. He had to cut 53 fucking pounds to fight Mikey Garcia. No strength and conditioning, fat camp. And he beat, battered, brutalized this man for 12 rounds. His brother was going to stop the fight in the 9th. Mikey Garcia went in the shell in the 5th round. If you're a great fighter, you can prevent yourself from getting knocked out. It's called not throwing punches, just shelling up. It's called not trying to fight back. If a fighter gets in the ring and he doesn't want to fight back, he can prevent himself from being knocked out. It's called protecting yourself. He's not taking a chance. He's not throwing a punch. The nigga was happy to go 12 rounds. He was happy. He wanted a milestone for being the first person to go 12 rounds with Earl Spence.
Hey,
the goalpost.
Hey, fam. Let's not forget. They need to go ask Maidana why he didn't want to give Broner his rematch back.
Jayhan, what's up, bro? Salute.
What's up with it? Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel. Appreciate y'all having me on the show. I just wanted to make it clear who I was rocking with July 29th. And it's obvious. I'm from Texas. I'm a Texas boy myself. Got to go with the big fish, the big shark, Mr. Errol Spence Jr. And I have multiple reasons. And I have multiple reasons why Errol Spence is going to stop Terrence Crawford. Not a decision. He's going to stop that man.
Go ahead, and the reason tell him why he's going to stop him.
And the reason I say that is, for one, the number one reason, the negotiations. The negotiations. The stuff he pulled in the negotiations. Now, everybody heard in All Access how Terrence Crawford was talking about, this is the fight I've been wanting forever. Did you see Errol Spence's body language? Blah, 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 blah. That's all cap. That's all cap. Terrence Crawford and Bo Mack Jr., Cheeto Man, was uncomfortable throughout this whole lead up to the fight. Uncomfortable. Point blank, period. I get it. Terrence Crawford is who he is. He's a switch hitter. Natural southpaw. He's done a lot in the sport, but everybody keep getting 135 and 140 mixed with 147, bro. For one, Terrence was undisputed at what? He was undisputed at what? 140, right?
The weakest division in boxing?
The weakest division in boxing. The weakest division in boxing. He fought Julius Ndongo and stopped him in what? The second round? The first round?
No, Reed just stopped him in the second round. Reed just stopped him before Terrence. He stopped him in less rounds than Terrence.
Exactly. And Crawford brought that up. This is how I know Crawford is real scared of Spence, bro, and he intimidated by Spence. In the it was the second press conference, the one they had in New York City. Crawford said, he looked at Spence and he was like, I don't think you ever fought Julius Ndongo, who fought a three-time or two-time champion or something like that. And when he said that, I'm like, bro, this is how I know this is not gonna be for him, bro. Saturday not gonna not be for him, bro, because he's focused on what happened in the past instead of focusing on what happened on 147. And I'll give Crawford his flowers. He did stop Kell Brook. He did stop Sean Porter. He did beat Amir Khan. He did beat these guys. But check out the way and the timing that he beat these guys. He beat Sean Porter when he wasn't even listening, when his heart wasn't in training, his heart wasn't in boxing no more. He was a shell of himself, and he came in there to get that check to take care of his family and his kids, point blank, period. Not to mention, a lot of people didn't mention this, Crawford and Sean Porter are very, 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 very close friends.
Yeah.
Very close friends. Sean Porter didn't even want that fight. He didn't even want to fight him. But Sean Porter was hot at the time. I'm not going to lie. He was. Brook, when he fought Kell Brook already had what? 2 busted up eye sockets? Wasn't his eyes all messed up and jacked up, and he was a shell of himself?
And he ain't fought in the weight class in 3 years. He was up there fighting 154, them English fighters.
Exactly. He wasn't fighting world-class competition. And everybody kept confusing this competition with world-class. I'm like, these guys were not world-class. When Errol fought them, for one, Errol, a lot of people didn't realize Errol was new to the welterweight division. Granted, he has a hell of an amateur background. I will give Errol that 100 and something plus fights in his amateur background. But when he fought Kell Brook,
he was the underdog.
He was the underdog heavily. Not only that, he came in his backyard. He came in his backyard.
Yeah.
Look,
they
said Earl wasn't ready.
147
they said, look, this is what they said. They said, let's not put Earl against Kell Brook. Let's get him to fight Jeff Horn for the vacant WBO. That's what they was trying to do. They didn't even want Earl to go fight Kell Brook. Earl said, fuck that. I'm going over there. I want him. Strap season.
Season.
Thurman didn't want to unify with Kell Brook. Danny Garcia didn't want to fight Kell Brook. Earl was the only one man enough to go fight Kell Brook. And he went over there in his backyard, took 25%, and fought that man in Sheffield, England. He was getting brownies thrown at him as he was walking to the ring. The whole hostile crowd, and he stopped that man.
Yeah. Stopped him.
And he's Earl's man down logo.
And there's a lot of 147s ducking Kell Brook at that time too. Earl was man enough to go over there and fight him in his own backyard too, bro. That says a lot, bro. That really says a lot. Sean Porter didn't even want to go back and try to get the belt.
Facts.
And Porter was still in his prime at the time, but he didn't even have the nuts to go over and try to get his belt back. Earl had to go over and get it and bring it back to the U.S.
Yep.
Facts. And everybody's Terrence Crawford stopped Porter. Oh, Terrence Crawford stopped Kell Brook. I'm like, boxing is all about timing.
Yeah.
And what position and where they're at in their career. The time that you fight them.
When they say that, guess what I tell them? I tell them Hector Macho Camacho stopped Sugar Ray Leonard. You think he would have stopped Sugar Ray Leonard in Hagler and Hearn days? Camacho would have got the shit beat out of him.
You see,
he would have got destroyed.
Like fam talking about timing. Terrence tried to time Earl Spence, but Earl Spence stuck in there and hung in there. He really was trying to wait out and let Earl Spence to get to where he's gonna get lazy and got tired of 147, this and that. But what Earl did is he tricked his ass and stayed in shape until he took that fight, man. Straight up.
And you see a lot of people. You see that what he just said? A lot of people don't pay attention to that.
Yeah,
they overlook that. Exactly. That is a huge key component. Huge key component. And that should be talked. And that should be talked about more in boxing. That's a huge component.
See, Earl,
he's trying to wait Earl out, bro. Is what he's trying to do.
No, because he know like before the
Sean Porter down his point in 147 is what he's trying to do.
You know, before the Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia fight, Earl Spence had got up so big in weight. They was hoping that Earl was undisciplined and he gained all that damn weight, and that's what they was hoping for.
Yeah,
but Spence tricked their ass. His ass was in top shape, and he ready to hop on their ass, and he's about to beat the shit out of Terrence Crawford in 6 days.
He's getting stopped. And then people are sitting here telling me, oh, Crawford, I'll give Crawford that. I'll give him that. He's mastered a lot of styles. I'll give him that. He's a masterful switch hitter, but we got to understand the laws of boxing here. Terrence Crawford is a offensive-minded and offensive fighter. He's been hit way more than Errol Spence. He's been hit way more. And they were by smaller guys. I got to give Gary Russell that. Gary Russell made a good point when he said that. They were clearly by smaller guys. Errol, who's the worst guy to hit to hurt Errol? Ugas. Name one other fighter that's hurt Errol. I can name multiple fighters that's hurt Terrence Crawford.
And you know the worst thing about it, though?
Gamboa, Jeff Horn, Mean Machine.
And be honest with you, if Earl wasn't looking down for his mouthpiece, he wouldn't have caught that shot.
Did y'all hear how he said? He said I was looking for my teeth. He said I was looking for my teeth.
Yeah.
He said I ain't want to be a meme. He said I ain't want to be a boxing meme.
Yeah. And check it out. And after he caught the lucky shot on him
without no teeth, they would have been making fun of his ass forever without no teeth. But what they don't realize is, this is what the thing is, right? Bud is not a great switch hitter, Bud is an orthodox fighter that goes in southpaw, so his lead dominant hand can be right there, so he can hook over a person's jab. That's why he's in orthodox, so he can see what style you got, and then he switches to southpaw. That way his power hand is forward. That way he can hook over your jab because his dominant hand is going against your jab hand. Most people put their least dominant hand as their jab hand.
And another thing,
fought in orthodox, his straight right will be a lot stronger. But since he has his right up front, he can only go with that hook and that uppercut. It's not as strong as it could be.
You see, the thing about Terrence is what I noticed about him, he only switches up when he gets uncomfortable. And you can't do that with Earl.
No, can't.
You can't do that with Earl.
Cannot do that.
Terrence only switches up when he gets uncomfortable, bro. And he ain't gonna be able to do that with Earl, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
The thing about it is, like, a lot of people don't like, which I'm sure you guys know. You guys are real, followers of boxing. You guys have been in the sport, and I love talking to guys that know about the sport, who know true boxing. And Errol does a lot of things in there that a lot of people don't pick up on. You know what I mean? Like when he fought Mikey Garcia, people saying he can't box. I'm like, bro, he boxed against Mikey Garcia and outclassed him. And that was when Mikey Garcia was dominating the division. He came in there and made him look like an average boxer. He boxed him and beat him. Look at what he did to Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson, I get it. He's not.
I can't hear you.
Oh, snap.
All right, hello? You back.
Lamont Peterson. What he did to Lamont Peterson, he systematically broke that man down horribly.
And that was in tip-top shape too, bro.
Hellified shape.
In tip-top shape, bro.
Did you see his legs in that fight? His legs were massive.
Looked like a lumberjack, man.
Hey.
Systematically broke him down.
Hey, look, we're going to come back live again later. It's time for me to get my nurse treatment and get wrapped up and everything. But I appreciate everybody for coming out. I appreciate you. I'm glad you subscribed, bro. Put your notifications on. I'm going to come back on later.
Yes, sir. I will be here. I'm definitely going to hop back on the show.
I got a lot of truck drivers that like to drive their trucks and everything. So, we're going to be up here for the late night for them so they can have something to go to the road to. So
most definitely.
Everybody out there, Shallow.
I drive 10 miles too, man.
And we got to go ahead.
I do too. I drive construction trucks. The trucks that I drive are construction trucks, like 725 Caterpillars, track hoes, and dozers and stuff like that.
I drive an 18-wheeler, man.
So y'all put y'all notifications on because we're gonna have a good show tonight. I'm gonna see if I can work the computer so I can put up videos. I still ain't learned it yet, but all right, peace and blessings all. And we
salute to the chat, man. Peace and love to you, brothers, man. We'll be back at it.
Good.
How the heck do I leave this thing?
Salute, young world. Just hit your thing, bro. We're gonna put it up later, bro. I'm gonna come back later. Hey, young world, they done demonetized me. But yeah, we'll be back up later on the day. I'm gonna see you later on tonight, Shua. Yeah, my man Young World come on late and everything, but Young World, keep the notifications. I'm gonna be back up later. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for them. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for them. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze, leaving nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for them. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for them. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze, leaving nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split them. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat them up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. Smoke.
Bible.